The last day of the AU summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and the Kenyan delegation was leaving the conference with a smile. The African Union had set the grounds to cut ties with the ICC after adopting without amendments a proposal by President Uhuru Kenyatta to develop a roadmap for withdrawing from the Rome Statute that creates the International Criminal Court.
A decision has been made by the heads of state of the Union, and it's a decision that's alive.
With the proposal adopted, now the Executive Council of Foreign Ministers has the responsibility of coming up with a roadmap, a plan that will see Africa withdraw from the Rome Statute that created the International Criminal Court.
We need to develop that strategy, and we intend to meet very, very shortly, having been given that mandate to actually develop the strategy. And therefore, obviously, any strategy that you develop takes into account developments, the environment, and everything else.
We have been sorely disappointed, Mr. Chairman.
Prosecuting his case before AU heads of state, President Kenyatta expressed disappointment by the way the cases brought before the Hague-based court were being handled.
We have had to contend with an ICC pursuing weak, politicized cases. This has become a huge distraction from our duty to serve our people and this continent fully. That is not what Kenya signed up for when we joined the ICC.
Kenya's head of state, who earlier faced charges of crimes against humanity, are the court in reference to the 2008 post-election violence, but was terminated in March 2015 due to lack of sufficient evidence, has maintained that the remaining cases against Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Arap Sang are clearly weak. He therefore wants the two cases terminated, a call that was endorsed.
There can be no recent illustration of this than the January proceedings in the case against my deputy, William Ruto, and journalist Joshua Sang. The prosecution seeks for the court to proceed without evaluating evidence.
The call for the formulation of a withdrawal structure was boosted by the recent revelation that the ICC was proposing a review in the arrest strategy where the United Nations would be granted powers to arrest ICC suspects rather than the member states.
The Peace and Security Council have both been asked to look at that concept and see what needs to be done in order to make sure that it actually never sees the light of day. Because we don't understand what it's intended for and why it should supersede and take over the role of governments. Right? Arrests are normally under the government's mandate.
Unanimously, AU approved all the resolutions on ICC except for Botswana that claimed the institution is the creation of the African continent to stem impunity. Enock Sikolia, NTV.